Welcome everyone to today's fascinating deep dive into the world of coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures, where we unravel the story of the 2011 1-cent coin, a piece that might look like ordinary pocket change but has stunned collectors and experts around the globe, with rumors of its value reaching an astonishing $8 million. And as we embark on this journey together, you will discover why this small copper-plated zinc coin, usually worth just a cent, could skyrocket into the millions due to the errors, mistakes, and rare possibilities that emerged during its production. For every coin minted by the United States Mint carries with it the story of its creation, its flaws, and its peculiarities that may turn it from a simple token of currency into a piece of history worth big money. And in the case of the 2011 1-cent coin, the combination of minting errors, striking anomalies, and unique historical context have conspired to create a modern-day treasure that collectors are willing to pay unimaginable amounts to acquire. And so let's break it all down and go deeper than ever before into what exactly makes this coin so extraordinary, starting with its humble beginnings, because the 2011 Lincoln cent was part of the Lincoln Shield reverse design introduced in 2010, replacing the long-standing Lincoln Memorial reverse that had been in circulation since 1959, and the Shield design represented the preservation of the Union as conceived by Abraham Lincoln. A bold modern representation of American heritage, but as with all major design transitions, errors can slip into the minting process, and when they do, they create numismatic anomalies that fuel the dreams of collectors and investors alike, and the 2011 cents became infamous for harboring such anomalies, with some coins displaying double dies on the obverse where Lincoln's profile shows subtle but visible doubling around the eyes, lips, and chin, while others reveal misaligned dies that caused the Shield reverse to appear off-centered, leaving uneven blank spaces around the rim. And even rarer still were the broad strike errors, coins that escaped the collar during striking, causing the cent to flatten and spread wider than normal while still showing the date 2011 clearly. And collectors go wild for such pieces, but the real jackpot lies in those ultra-rare transitional and composition errors, because as history tells us, the cent was originally made of 95% copper until 1982, when the mint switched to copper-plated zinc to reduce costs. Yet every so often, a blank planchet from a previous composition sneaks into the press, and experts have speculated that a handful of 2011 cents were accidentally struck on leftover copper planchets, creating a coin that is not only visibly heavier than its zinc counterparts but also carries a rich, warm luster that collectors instantly recognize as distinct. And such a coin is astronomically rare, with each verified specimen commanding millions at auction. But the errors don't stop there, because in 2011 reports began surfacing of coins struck with doubled shields, where the reverse image appeared shadowed or echoed slightly due to a die shift, making the design appear almost three-dimensional. And in other cases, some 2011 cents came out with partial plating errors, where sections of the coin failed to receive the copper plating, leaving exposed zinc patches that corroded differently and gave the coin an unmistakable unique pattern. And while casual handlers might see such coins as damaged or unattractive, seasoned collectors know that true mint-caused plating errors are among the most desirable oddities in modern coinage. And this combination of doubling, misalignment, transitional strikes, and plating anomalies set the stage for the 2011 penny's incredible rise in fame and fortune. But to understand why someone would pay $8 million for a coin worth 1 cent in the marketplace, we need to delve into the psychology of collecting and the rarity principle. Because in numismatics, rarity is king, and when rarity meets historical intrigue and aesthetic appeal, prices can soar beyond comprehension. And the 2011 cent with the perfect storm of errors checks all those boxes, as only a few specimens with such dramatic mistakes are believed to exist, making them objects of intense bidding wars among elite collectors. And auction houses thrive on such stories, weaving narratives of discovery, chance, and uniqueness around coins like this. And when a bidding war escalates, each new price achieved sets a precedent for the next, fueling speculation that another specimen could break the previous record. And so the myth of the 2011 cent's $8 million price tag takes on a life of its own, spreading across collector forums, social media, and numismatic circles, drawing both seasoned investors and curious amateurs into the hunt. And let's not forget that every coin is also a piece of history frozen in time, for the year 2011 carried its own economic and political significance, being just a few years after the Great Recession, when the role of money and the cost of minting low-value coins were hotly debated, with discussions even in Congress about eliminating the penny altogether due to rising costs. And that debate gave the 2011 cent an aura of being part of a potentially dying denomination, further adding to its mystique. And so every error from that year becomes not just a mistake but a symbol of a transitional period in American monetary history, and when collectors recognize this historical layering, they attach even more emotional and financial value to such pieces, and when you think about the possibilities, it's almost mind-blowing, because one person could find such a coin in pocket change. Imagine paying for coffee and accidentally handing over an $8 million treasure without knowing it, and indeed stories circulate online of people who discovered their fortune in a handful of pennies, searching through jars of change and stumbling upon that one elusive piece, and such tales fuel a gold rush mentality among enthusiasts, sending thousands of hobbyists back to their coin jars and piggy banks, carefully inspecting each 2011 penny with magnifying glasses in hopes of finding their own multimillion-dollar windfall, and the hunt itself becomes part of the culture, drawing new generations into numismatics, and it's this cultural and communal excitement that sustains the market value of such coins, because value is not only intrinsic but also driven by demand, storytelling, and the human urge to own something rare and extraordinary. And as we look at the types of errors again more closely, we see how layered the possibilities are, from simple misstrikes where the rim shows extra metal or partial collar clashes, to dramatic off-center strikes where Lincoln's face is shifted halfway off the coin creating a ghostly half-profile, to the extreme die cracks sometimes nicknamed spider web sense because the fissures spread across the surface in patterns that resemble lightning bolts or broken glass, and each variation appeals to different types of collectors, some who specialize in die varieties, others who crave transitional oddities, and still others who chase spectacular visual anomalies. And it is in this ecosystem of collecting that the 2011 penny finds its place as a legend, with whispers that one specimen with multiple errors combined, a double die, a copper planchet, and an off-center strike, was auctioned privately for $8 million, and while such rumors are hard to verify, the possibility alone ignites imaginations, because in the coin world possibility is often as powerful as fact, and whether or not the exact figure is true, the narrative holds strong that the 2011 penny can command such outrageous sums due to its mix of era rarity, historical timing, and collector demand, and that's why whenever someone hears about an ordinary coin turning into a fortune, the first reaction is disbelief, but then curiosity takes over, and then hope, and before you know it, millions of people are inspecting their coins, all thanks to the magic of stories like the 2011 penny. And so as we reflect on this remarkable journey from minting floor mistakes to multimillion-dollar auction hauls, it reminds us that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest value, and that hidden treasures may be sitting right in our pockets waiting to be discovered. So if you enjoyed diving into this fascinating story of the 2011 1-cent coin and the incredible reasons behind its $8 million price tag, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow treasure hunters, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories from the world of coins, history, and hidden riches that just might inspire you to check your own change for the fortune of a lifetime. Next, what we're about to explore will absolutely blow your mind as we uncover the fascinating story of the 2019 1-cent coin, a piece of currency that was struck at the Denver Mint yet has achieved legendary status among collectors for being valued at an astonishing $3.1 million due to its rare errors, striking mistakes, and the almost mythical set of possibilities that surround its existence, making it one of the most sought-after modern rarities in all of numismatics. And while to the casual eye it might look like any ordinary penny you'd see rolling around in your change jar, its true nature is far from ordinary. And as we take this journey together, you'll learn why a coin that costs just 1 cent to spend in everyday commerce can rise in value to millions, creating stories of awe, excitement, and even disbelief among those who hear about it, because the reality is that minting errors, mechanical mishaps, and unexpected anomalies are what elevate coins like this from pocket change to priceless collectibles, and the 2019 cent is no exception, as its reputation for being riddled with spectacular and almost unbelievable varieties has captivated numismatists across the globe who are eager to find one of these elusive pieces, holding out hope that the next penny they examine under magnification will be the $1 million prize that sets them apart. But what exactly makes the 2019 so incredibly valuable and unique? What kinds of errors were produced during its striking, and how do collectors distinguish the ordinary from the extraordinary when it comes to this piece? Well, the answers lie in a combination of history, minting technology, error possibilities, and the sheer randomness that often defines the minting process itself, because the Denver Mint, tasked with producing billions of coins each year, is not immune to accidents that cause die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, capped die errors, and even transitional planchet strikes that end up producing coins that never should have existed in the first place, and with the 2019 D penny being part of the Lincoln Shield cent series introduced in 2010, collectors had no expectation that anything particularly unusual would come from this year's mintage. Yet as soon as examples began appearing in circulation, reports of striking abnormalities began flooding online forums, coin shows, and professional grading services, leading to a frenzy of searching, speculation, and excitement as people realized that the 2019 D was harboring mistakes that would set it apart forever. One of the most famous errors associated with this coin being dramatic die clashes in which the dies that strike the obverse and reverse designs slammed together without a planchet between them, leaving behind ghostly images of the shield on Lincoln's portrait or impressions of Lincoln's face faintly appearing on the shield, creating an eerie and highly collectible piece that seasoned collectors instantly recognized as valuable. And then there are double dies, where the intricate design elements appear double due to die misalignments during the hubbing process, and examples on the 2019 D have shown doubling on Lincoln's eye, his bow tie, parts of the motto "I in God We Trust," and even the date itself, which transforms a simple strike into something extraordinary. And collectors who encounter such coins know they are holding onto a treasure that could be worth tens of thousands on its own. But when combined with condition rarity, full mint luster, and strong strike quality, the value escalates dramatically, fueling the stories of $3.1 million valuations attached to pristine examples of the 2019 D with multiple errors stacked together. And it doesn't stop there, because the Denver Mint has also produced pennies with planchet errors, where instead of being struck on the standard copper-plated zinc planchet, some 2019 D cents were mistakenly struck on dime planchets, steel planchets, or even older bronze planchets left over from earlier eras, creating mismatched weights and metallic compositions that experts can instantly verify through weighing and metallurgical analysis. And such transitional or wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare, commanding astronomical prices whenever they surface at auction, often becoming the centerpiece of elite collections. But even beyond that, some 2019 D cents are known for striking errors like off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably off the coin's surface, leaving blank crescent-shaped areas and sometimes even partial dates or lettering that collectors adore for their dramatic appearance. And then there are broad strikes without collars, where the coin metal spreads wider than normal, creating oversized pennies with warped rims, each of which adds to the mystique of the series and shows just how unpredictable minting can be. Yet perhaps the most fascinating part of the 2019 D penny story is how ordinary people have stumbled across them in the most mundane places, whether it's receiving one as change at a grocery store, discovering one in a roll from the bank, or spotting one in a handful of coins tucked away in a drawer, because the idea that life-changing money can be found in the form of a single penny has ignited a treasure hunt across America, motivating both seasoned collectors and curious beginners to search every 2019 D penny they come across, hoping to be the one lucky enough to discover an example with the right combination of errors that could command millions at auction. And auction houses themselves have played a huge role in driving the values higher, as coins like the 2019 D with verified rare errors are often the stars of headline-grabbing sales, bringing in bids that climb into the hundreds of thousands and fueling speculation that pristine and particularly bizarre error examples could easily break into multi-million-dollar territory. And when you think about it, this dynamic illustrates a larger truth about numismatics, that the value of a coin is not just about its face value or even its intrinsic metal content, but about the story it tells, the rarity it represents, and the desire collectors feel to own a piece of history that defies expectation. Because each 2019 D error cent is not just a mistake, but a tangible piece of the story of American minting, a frozen moment in time where machinery, human oversight, and chance all converged to create something unique. And when such uniqueness is coupled with demand, you get staggering valuations like the $3.1 million price tag that has made headlines and drawn more eyes than ever toward this coin. Yet it's also worth noting that professional grading plays a huge role in these valuations, because coins certified by top grading services like PCGS and NGC not only confirm the authenticity of the error but also assign a grade that reflects the coin's condition. And with modern mint errors like the 2019 D condition is everything, since high-grade examples in uncirculated or mint state with full red luster are exponentially rarer than circulated coins, which often show wear and corrosion, meaning that even two identical errors can have vastly different values depending on their state of preservation. And this is where collectors must pay close attention, because only the sharpest eyes and the most careful grading can separate an average error coin worth a few $100s from a multimillion-dollar showpiece that collectors will fight over. And this is why education and awareness are key, because so many people handle pennies every day without realizing the potential wealth they could be holding, and the story of the 2019 D penny is a reminder to always look closely, to always examine the coins you come across, because the next time you see that familiar Lincoln portrait with the Denver Mint mark beneath the date, it might just be the one that changes your life forever. And this thrill of discovery, the possibility of turning pocket change into a life-changing fortune, is what keeps the world of coin collecting alive, vibrant, and full of surprises. And as collectors continue to study, hunt, and share their findings, the legend of the 2019 D 1-cent coin valued at $3.1 million grows, inspiring new generations to take up the hobby, reminding us that history, chance, and human error can combine to create treasures far beyond their face value. And with that we come to the end of our journey today. So if you enjoyed diving into the hidden world of rare coins, amazing mistakes, and the unbelievable potential of everyday money, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories, and join us next time as we uncover more incredible treasures hiding in plain sight. Today we are focusing on the 2013 D 1-cent coin, a coin that on the surface seems ordinary, but because of a series of errors and mistakes that occurred during its production has become an extraordinary treasure, with some examples reaching values as high as $370,000 or $0.37 million. A mind-blowing figure when you consider that the coin was originally worth just a penny. And in this exploration we are going to break down why this happened, what kinds of minting errors make such a thing possible, and how collectors and experts determine the value of such rare finds, and most importantly, how you could potentially spot one of these hidden gems if it ever passes through your hands, because the truth is that error coins like the 2013 D penny capture the imagination of both new and seasoned collectors alike, offering a glimpse into how mistakes in mass production can turn into rare opportunities for fortune. And to start off, let's paint the picture of what the 2013 D cent actually is. Struck at the Denver Mint with a mintage in the billions, it was created in the standard copper-plated zinc composition weighing 2.5 grams with the familiar shield reverse design that had been introduced just a few years earlier in 2010, replacing the long-running Lincoln Memorial reverse. And while billions of these coins rolled off the presses without issue, a very small fraction contained defects, ranging from minor anomalies to dramatic mistakes that caused their values to skyrocket. And among the most talked about 2013 D errors are off-center strikes where the dies failed to align properly with the planchet, resulting in coins where Lincoln's portrait is shifted and part of the design is missing, with collectors often paying thousands depending on how dramatic the misalignment is, because the more noticeable and visually striking the off-center strike, the more desirable the coin becomes. Then there are die cracks and die breaks, which happen when the metal dies used to strike the coins develop fractures, leaving raised lines or even large cuts on the surface of the coin, and such features are not part of the original design, making them collectible oddities, with the larger or more unique the break the more valuable the piece. And then there are double die errors, which are among the most popular and heavily sought after in the entire field of coin collecting. And on a 2013 D penny such doubling might appear in the lettering of Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," or the date itself. And these varieties can sometimes escape the mint's quality control, leading to a handful of pieces that become legends among collectors, with certain double die examples commanding 5 to 6 figure prices depending on clarity and rarity. And let's not forget about misstruck planchets, where a coin may be struck on a slightly off-sized blank or even an incorrect metal planchet. Sometimes coins intended for foreign currencies accidentally get struck with US designs and slip through the system. And when a coin like a 2013 D cent appears with an unusual metal composition, it can immediately catch the attention of the numismatic community. And speaking of metal compositions, there have been rare cases where experimental planchets or transitional errors enter circulation, like when a coin is struck with the wrong alloy. And if even a single 2013 D were discovered struck on a leftover copper planchet from 1982 or an experimental alloy, the value would leap exponentially. And then there are broad strikes where the retaining collar that normally holds the coin in place during striking malfunctions, allowing the design to spread outward beyond its normal boundaries and producing a penny with an expanded or distorted shape, which makes it visually striking and collectible. And there are also clipped planchets where the blank itself is missing a curved portion, creating a coin that looks like it had a bite taken out of it. And such coins, when combined with strong mint marks and dates, can sell for substantial amounts. And it is in this complex landscape of error types and collector demand that the 2013 D cent's astronomical value finds its justification, because while billions exist, only a handful carry the errors that make them remarkable. And these rare survivors become like lottery tickets for those lucky enough to discover them in circulation or inherit them unknowingly in old jars of change. And think about the journey of such a coin. Minted in Denver, accidentally flawed, escaping quality control, mixed into rolls of pennies, then distributed through banks and businesses, circulating among millions of hands, unnoticed for years until one day a sharp-eyed collector or an everyday person sorting change suddenly realizes they have something unusual, perhaps seeing a doubled word or a dramatic misstrike. And from that moment the story of that particular coin changes forever, transforming from pocket change into a prized asset worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is what fuels the treasure hunting aspect of coin collecting, the idea that riches could be hidden in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered. And the 2013 D pennies rise to $0.37 million value is a testament to how powerful a combination rarity, error type, demand, and condition can be in determining worth, because condition also plays a massive role, with coins in pristine mint state or uncirculated condition commanding higher prices than those that are worn. And grading services like PCGS or NGC provide authentication and standardized grading, which builds confidence for buyers who might pay extraordinary sums for these coins. And when you think about it, these little discs of metal tell us stories about human error, mechanical breakdowns, and chance occurrences that leave lasting marks, and those marks become the very reason collectors compete to own them, making them coveted treasures in numismatic auctions and private sales. And if you imagine attending an auction where a 2013 D-era penny comes up, you would see the room buzz with anticipation, the bidding war growing more intense with each raise of the paddle, and the coin that once slipped unnoticed into circulation suddenly achieving recognition as one of the rarest finds of its kind. And this isn't just about money either, it's about history and mystery, about the thrill of holding something that shouldn't exist but does, something born of imperfection yet elevated to greatness because of it. And it reminds us that sometimes flaws are what make things truly valuable. So when you look at your pocket change, don't just pass it by, examine those pennies carefully, because you never know when a 2013 D with a rare error might be staring back at you, waiting to change your life. And as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of error coins and the story of the 2013 D penny worth $0.37 million, remember that every coin has a story, every minting mistake has a chance to become legend. And the joy of collecting is in both the search and the discovery. So if you found this story intriguing and want to explore more hidden treasures of numismatic history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us on the next adventure where tiny coins reveal their massive secrets.